6 Ganons, 2 Ganondorfs, 2 Vadis, and a heck of a lot of fun. Today, we're going to the end of every single Zelda game, except those 2 on the CDI. Those don't count, and they're not in this video. And at the end of every single Zelda game is the final boss, the grand final test for our tunicked adventurer Link. And I'm going to rank every single final boss in Zelda history. Hey, before I get into the countdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's the quickest and easiest way for me to get content to you guys. Thank you so much. And now, ranking every final boss in Zelda history. Number 20, the Lady from Triforce Heroes. So the first few here I'm going to run through fairly quickly because they're, frankly, just not very good final bosses. The Lady is the queen of that mountain. She's just a terrible boss. Triforce Heroes itself is really lackluster, and it fittingly climaxes in a boss fight that can be described, at best, as meh. As a result, the Lady takes the bottom spot on this countdown. Number 19, Dark Link from Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. I really wanted this boss to be better. Dark Link should have been better. Heck, as a mini-boss in Ocarina of Time, Dark Link is actually pretty cool. As a cutscene NPC in Twilight Princess, Dark Link is creepy as heck. But as the final boss of Zelda 2, he's like frustratingly easy to beat. He confuses you for about half a second until you figure out that you can just kind of crouch in the corner and stay there and whack him with your sword. Zelda 2, in my opinion, is a letdown of a game overall, and Dark Link is, appropriately, a letdown of a boss at number 19. Number 18, Ganon from The Legend of Zelda. So I agonized over this one just a little bit. I love this game so much, but Ganon is really kind of a dud of a final boss. He's not, like, really difficult, and level 9, the dungeon that you have to find your way through in order to get to Ganon, is so much more of a challenge than Ganon himself. He's frankly not even that imposing of a figure compared to other dungeon bosses in the game. So Ganon makes his first, but not last, appearance on this countdown at number 18. Number 17, Malladus from Spirit Tracks. After Zelda reclaims her body, which is a weird enough statement on its own, our very own train conductor Link faces off with the evil Malladus at the end of this very cool adventure on the DS. Malladus takes on a form not too dissimilar from the Dark Beast Ganon in Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild, except he's a lovely shade of light blue. Now, Link and Zelda work in tandem here, much like in the final battle of the Wind Waker, and they eventually take the aqua-colored beast down. It's a fairly quick final boss battle, but it's respectable in its own right, here at number 17. Number 16, Nightmare from Link's Awakening. In both the original Link's Awakening and the Switch remake, Nightmare is one of the most unique final bosses in Zelda history. He's a pitch-black, shape-shifting demon kind of thing, and hey, you're trapped in a room with him. Nightmare has the ability to take on the form of several different bosses, some of which come straight out of A Link to the Past. There are 5 total stages to this very challenging boss, before realizing that the entire thing may have been a dream. Or was it? Number 15, Calamity Ganon and Dark Beast Ganon from Breath of the Wild. This is the first final boss from a 3D Zelda on this list, and Calamity Ganon is the worst one for a reason. Now, visually, both Calamity Ganon and Dark Beast Ganon are very imposing, and they're as creepy as any other final boss on this list, but in terms of a challenge, look, if you've beaten all 4 Divine Beasts on the way to the Sanctum in Hyrule Castle, Ganon's difficulty level just goes way down, like, way down. It was to the point where I took a break from this game for a few weeks after beating Ganon for the first time because I was just so disappointed. But, looking back on it a handful of years later, Calamity Ganon's a bit better on Master Mode, especially if the Divine Beasts have gone untouched. And look, I think we're all just hoping that Tears of the Kingdom features more of a challenging finale than its predecessor. Number 14. Bellum from Phantom Hourglass. The evil phantom that was locked away deep in the Temple of the Ocean King is a challenging conclusion to a terrific DS game. I think the reason that I love Bellum so much is that his backstory and his motivation are so interesting. Bellum's obsession with acquiring more life force, his creation of the ghost ship, and his constant pursuit of Tetra give this boss layers beyond the final battle itself. Now the layers here are inventive too, with Bellum eventually possessing Lineback. But after a deckside battle, Link and Tetra are once again free to sail the open seas. Number 13. Ganon from Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. The linked ending between Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages gives us a very cool model of Ganon, and a difficult one if you don't know what you're doing. Just the sight of Twin Rova morphing into a blue flame and then a demented, out-of-his-mind Ganon is such a crazy visual. He teleports around and he acts like this crazed monster. He even messes with the arena itself and pulls you towards him. He's psychotic, and I love him. Number 12. Onox from Oracle of Seasons. So the General of Darkness takes on a few forms in Oracle of Seasons, first as an armored warrior, but eventually as a dark dragon. Onox isn't especially difficult if you know his patterns, but the first battle with him, along with his visual appearance, are simply incredible. In his dark dragon form, Onox is huge, and if you're a kid playing against this beast, he's nightmarish. And of course, at number 11, rounding out these three, is Viren from Oracle of Ages. I had to put the three Oracle bosses in a row since they're so related. The Sorceress of Shadows can possess other people's bodies. That's really weird. Like other final bosses in Zelda lore, Viren's fight has multiple stages, and she takes on multiple forms. Her final being her, bigger, with wings. Viren's final stage shows her transform into a turtle, a spider, and a bee, so she can't make it too easy on Link after all. Number 10. Vaati from Four Swords. Okay, the top 10, now we're getting to the good stuff. So this game is so visually similar to the Minish Cap that I almost put them back to back, but in any case, Vaati makes its first of two appearances here on our little old countdown at number 10. Anytime I face Vaati, I always find the battle to be, slightly chaotic. In this battle, Vaati uses the attacks of previous bosses in the game to try and take Link down. And, during the process, it's almost like you have to play dodgeball with him. And when he gets hit, he gives you money. How nice. The atmosphere, music, and challenge here are certainly enough to bring Vaati in at number 10. Number 9. Ganon from Four Swords Adventures. I'm not a huge fan of this game at all, but the coolness of this boss battle is undeniable. After sealing Zelda away forever and emerging from a black warp-like cloud, Blue Ganon makes a comeback here, and he is monstrous. Ganon wields his trademark trident and covers so much ground in this chamber that it's tough to avoid him. He also throws the spear around, flanked by a trail of blue flames, so you need to be quick to get around him. Zelda gets out of her seal halfway through the battle, as she reveals the Dark Beast to formerly be Ganondorf of the Gerudos. Big surprise, I know, as the second part of the battle kicks into gear. This time, Ganon is glowing orange, has new attacks, and he's as imposing as ever. Number 8. Ganon from A Link to the Past. Our first 16-bit Zelda boss is legendary without question. Our dear friend Blue Ganon is here, once again with his signature trident, shooting fiery bats and collapsing the floor beneath you as you go. He can teleport and render himself invisible for short periods of time. With the help of his silver arrows, Link can send the 16-bit Dark Beast back from whence he came. Number 7. Yuga from A Link Between Worlds. This Ganon-infused giant beast caps off what is now widely considered to be the best handheld Zelda game. This fierce Lorulian reminds me so much of Ganon from A Link to the Past, but in higher definition. Whether it's by sword in 3 dimensions or with the light bow inside a wall, Link must go back and forth with this giant monster and withstand a wide array of attacks. Yuga even shoots beams out of the walls to attack 3D Link. This game itself is just so inventive that it's no wonder that the final boss fight is just as creative. Number 6. Vaati from the Minish Cap. Vaati's second appearance on the countdown comes all the way up at number 6. I had so much fun with this final boss. First off, the Minish Cap is a truly terrific game, and with most other final bosses on this countdown, Vaati's boss battle sees the sorceress go through 3 stages of incarnation: Vaati Reborn, Transfigured, and Wrath. This boss battle makes use of most of the game's reused mechanics, focusing on Link's self-duplication. Link must shrink and grow in order to attack the villain from inside and out. This boss battle is outstanding, and Vaati's most memorable appearance in the series. Number 5. Ganon from Ocarina of Time. This is perhaps the most legendary final boss battle in the series, but in my opinion, is only good enough to barely crack the top 5. The penultimate showdown with Ganondorf is incredible, as he and Link clash at the top of Ganon's castle. After the castle collapses, Link and Zelda escape in the nick of time, only to see Ganondorf rise from the ashes, activate the Triforce of Power, and transform into Beast Ganon. This battle would have certainly ranked higher if it was a little bit more difficult, but a few rolls through Ganon's legs and some smacks with the Megaton Hammer and the Master Sword, and the evil king of the Gerudos doesn't put up much of a fight. Number 4. Ganondorf from Twilight Princess. My love for this game is endless, as shown by my comments in nearly every Zelda video that I've made so far. The battle at the end, led off by Puppet Zelda and followed by the Beast Ganon, is concluded out in Hyrule Field as Link and Ganondorf find themselves in a good old-fashioned one-on-one sword fight. Now, Ganondorf here can be a bit challenging, but for me, the reason why it's up so high is the ambiance surrounding the fight itself. This sword fight is such a beautiful summation of everything Twilight Princess stands for. The darkness, the brooding evil, and the desperation. It's simply gorgeous when you look around. Now, timeline-wise, Ganondorf's death here marked the end of the Twilight era, and most thought the end of Ganondorf himself, until he was revived in Four Swords Adventures. Number 3. Demise from Skyward Sword. Alright, top 3. Now these are the elites. Demise is the final boss that started everything. He was the very first final boss in the Zelda timeline. And how could you ask for more of a beautiful environment? You're literally in the clouds and walking through a shallow lake of water. Now, Demise himself is huge, he's muscular, and he has a head of flames for some reason. And the fight itself is epic. You go back and forth with him, you dodge his extremely powerful sword strikes, and he eventually electrifies his sword as well. You have to counter him with your shield, your sword slashes, and skyward strikes, and he breaks out a skyward strike of his own every now and again, so you need to time yours pretty well. Now, eventually you'll land a fatal blow on the great boss, and the most important and impactful part of this fight is the aftermath, though, where Demise declares that his hate will rise again and again in a cycle with no end, and that an incarnation of his hatred will ever follow those who share the blood of the goddess and the spirit of the hero. Number 2. Ganondorf from the Wind Waker. Ganondorf's second and final appearance on the countdown is one of the best boss battles, period, in Zelda history. This incarnation of Ganondorf is human. He had emotion and reasoning behind his evil ways. He wasn't a rabid killer like his Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time counterparts. Here he's a seasoned, weathered, aged warrior, seemingly at his wit's end. The King of Hyrule serves as a counterpart for Ganondorf here, kicking this battle off. And it's perhaps the greatest example of Link and Zelda working together during a boss fight. Zelda attacks Ganondorf with her bow while Link clashes swords with the evil king. And Ganondorf here is surprisingly agile. He's quick with his dueling swords, and he can kind of jump like a kangaroo. The final scene here is just unreal and iconic as the young Link drives his sword into Ganondorf's forehead, leaving him to die standing up. Gross. Number 1. Majora from Majora's Mask. And at number 1 on this 20 final boss countdown is Majora from Majora's Mask. Now, even with the fierce deity mask, this boss battle is simply blood-curdling and the best final boss battle in the history of The Legend of Zelda. Going up against Majora's Mask itself, then Majora's Incarnation and Majora's Wrath, it's so mind-wrenchingly creepy that you'll never get it out of your head. The sounds this creature makes are unnerving to say the least, and Majora's Incarnation is probably the most terrifying of the three as it frantically runs about the room at a hyper speed. It dances for no reason, and it pounds the ground like a screaming child. And Majora's Wrath, what even is this thing? It vaguely resembles a human with long whip-like arms and a weird demonic face. Majora in all of its forms is pure, unhinged, destructive evil, and there is no better way to construct or describe a head villain in a story, and the culmination of this nightmarish tale is so perfectly done. Majora is, in all of its spine-chilling, hair-raising, petrifying glory, the best final boss in Zelda history. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Did you agree or disagree with my choices here? Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. And more than anything else, thank you for watching. I'm the Zap-Zap Man, and I will see you next time.